Hey YouTube. Okay, so now it's time to cover all of the new items, mainly the shadow items, which is the main set mechanic of set 5. But they've also changed they reworked a couple of the main items. So let's dive right into it. First, Shojin. It was previously restores an extra 5 mana. Now I got buffed to 8 mana. I don't know how much of a difference this makes. From 15 to 18 for Shojin. It's not bad, but we'll have to see. Redemption. The wearer radiates an aura to allies within 1 hex. So like a pretty small circle, healing them for 30% of their max health, of their missing health every 5 seconds. Allies affected by the aura take 40% reduced damage from AoE attacks. Kind of interesting. So before, in set 4, when when champion with redemption is dead, the rest of your team gets healed by 800, something like that. So now they're changing it to be like a mini 1 hex heal over time, and you take less damage from AoEs. It's okay. I don't think it's that good, honestly. Like, redemption before was fine, because it became really clutch in certain situations when everyone else is low. The champion with redemption just died, and then everyone get fully healed. Maybe they didn't want a situation like that, because even though anti-healing could still kind of screw over redemption, it wouldn't affect it as much. This can get utterly screwed by anti-healing, so we'll see. Also, rapid fire cannon got changed to hold against 1 +1 hex attack range instead of 200%. I'm gonna show the YouTube video from GB8 and showing a couple changes regarding hex attack range and some other things. But yeah, so before it was like, I think 200% would mean like would it mean 2 hex ranges? I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, but I think so, because if you had 1 hex, you could attack, and you had RFC, you would be able to attack from 3 hexes. So now it's only +1. So instead of, if you were a melee carry with 1 hex, you got RFC, now you can attack from 2 hexes. So yeah, 2 more changes. Frozen Heart reduces attack speed of enemies within 2 hexes by 35%. Before it was only 1 hex and 50%. Now it's 2 hexes and 35%. Extra Frozen Hearts mean will probably go. I'm pretty sure if you do triple Frozen Heart, it would go, or at least 2 will probably go to maybe a 3rd hex. I doubt it would be 2 + 2 = 4, because that'd be a bit much, but we'll see. Last but not least, Luden's Echo got changed. Now, a tier and a rod make Archangel Staff. Each time the wearer casts their spell, they gain ability power equal to 35% of their max mana. A very interesting item. Yeah, so it's a very interesting item, because if you think about it, if you put it on a unit that has a lot of mana, they'll get a decent amount more AP if they have this item. But if they have a little bit of mana, a really cheap casting spell, they just get like a little bit of AP each time. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Which units will want to use this. And of course, we have our Spatulas. I'm just gonna scroll over them really quick. Spellweaver is a rod. Skirmisher is a sword. Renewer is a tear. Redeemer is a cloak. Legionnaire is a bow. Ironclad is a vest. Dawnbringer is a belt. And Assassin is still a glove. Now, the shadow items. We have a lot to cover, so let's get into it. Okay, I'm gonna start from the bottom. Zezirah Dark Portal. When the wearer dies, a construct with 500 health arises to continue the fight. When it dies, it deals 777 true damage to enemies within 1 hex. So it's like a ticking time bomb. You know, I don't know if it taunts, because if we look back, yeah, I don't know if it taunts, because the normal Zezirah does taunt at the start of combat, and when it dies, when the wearer dies. So if it doesn't taunt, it's interesting, because that means it may be less likely to die. So we'll see. That's a lot of damage, so could be pretty useful. Explosive Zephyr. Basically, your unit wearing the Explosive Zephyr also Zephyrs itself for 3 seconds, but the enemy champion would be Zephyr for 8 seconds instead of 5 seconds. So put this, you can be very strategic with this. You put this on like a, on one of your, not carries, less useful units, and you can take something out of combat for 8 seconds. And 8 seconds in the late game is practically the whole fight. Because that's when things are decided mostly. So yeah, that can that's pretty crazy. Zeke's Evil Herald. Okay. So ignore the first part because that's normal Zeke's Herald. With the Zeke's Evil Herald, you instead steal up to 40% attack speed from nearby allies and give it to the wearer. So I made a little thing right here to showcase what it would look like. So let's say your Aphelios has the Cursed Zeke's Herald, and you have a who do I have here? I think Vayne and Varus on your to the left and right of Aphelios. He would steal 40% attack speed from Vayne and Varus and put it on him. Pretty nice. Yeah. So pretty cool. Let's see. Let's get going. Warmogs, Poison Armor. Grants 1500 bonus health, including components, but the wearer loses 100 HP each second. Normal Warmogs, 1000 HP flat. This you get an extra 500, but you lose a lot of HP per second. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Do you want something to get a little bit more HP, but you lose over time, or do you just want flat HP? So cool. Explosive Trap Claw. Roughly the same as normal Trap Claw, except when except this time, instead of stunning the caster for 4 seconds, the unit with Trap Claw gets teleported all the way to that all the way to the other side to that spellcaster, and they target each other, and they do 20% increased damage to each other. So it's kind of funny. You can have like your both of your what's it called, backline carries just start duking it out on like the other side. This is interesting. Or maybe you put this in your front line. You have your melee carry start beating up their backline carry. This one is also really funny. Titan's Explosive Assault. When the wearer takes damage, they gain a stack of explosive power for each point of pre-mitigated damage taken. This effect can stack any number of times. I think pre-mitigated, I believe it means I think it means damage blocked. I'm gonna search up the definition just in case, but pre-mitigated. No. League. I think, yeah, it's like damage reduction, something like that. So, where is it? Yeah, so damage blocked maybe. When the wearer dies, they explode, dealing true damage equal to 20% of their explosive power to all enemies within 1 hex. I'll show it probably in the GBA video, but someone in his game had this item. The Titan's Resolve got to like 3,000. And then I don't even know if that unit died. Well, we can try to recheck, but yeah, it's crazy. Cursive Blade, you get 2 shadow items. Eclipse Cape. Every 2 seconds, a random enemy within 3 hexes instead of 2 is burned for 25% of their max HP over 10 seconds. Any healing they receive is reduced by 50%. The wearer of the Eclipse Cape also is burned for 4% of their HP every second. So everyone gets burned, even the wearer. So watch out. Make sure this is maybe like on a pretty healthy tanky unit. Evil static shift. Every other basic attack from the wearer unleashes a chain lightning, dealing 65 magic damage to 4 enemies. Before, I believe it was every 3 attacks. We can check right now. Yeah, every 3 basic attack. So it's decreased by 1. Lightning can critically strike, doing bonus damage and reducing MR by 60% for 6 seconds. The wearer receives a penalty of minus 50% AD. So don't stack AD items with this. Just have like, you know, maybe stack Shiv and Rage Blade and just keep doing a bunch of magic damage. Shojin. The holder's basic attacks restore an additional 14 mana on hit, but the holder deals 25% less damage overall. So you'll be getting 24 mana on hit. That's a lot of mana. That's huge. But you're doing a lot less damage. So you're probably putting it on one of your support carries. Doesn't really care about damage. Yeah, like a Lux or something. Or just someone who does decent amount of CC. Pretty good. Dark Shroud of Stillness. When combat begins, shoots a beam straight ahead of and behind them that delays affected enemies and allies for a spell cast, increasing their max mana by 50% until they cast. So, old Shroud, but not only does it affect your enemies, it also affects you. So you have to be really careful to not have the unit with the Shroud be in front of or behind your other units. But sometimes you might just have to. So we'll see. Really cool. Bunan's Evil Hurricane. Basic attacks fire bolts at 2 nearby enemies, dealing 60% of the wearer's attack damage. These bolts can critically strike, but do not apply on hit effects. So I don't know how, because on-hit effects can be something like what's it called? Shojin. Oh, I forgot about Bloodthirster. They reworked Bloodthirster. But like, I don't know, it's like Shojin would definitely count. There's a bunch of on-hit effects, so don't fully remember how they work. I completely forgot. But yeah, they reworked Bloodthirster as well. The first time the wearer would fall below 40% health, they gain a shield equal to 40% max health for 5 seconds. Again, Immortal Shield both from League, or one of the traits, I already forgot. Nightbringer? I think it's Nightbringer. So, cool. I'm sorry I forgot about that. But, yeah. That's interesting. Don't know if it's worth than normal Hurricane. Okay. I really like this name. Lack of Redemption. The wearer radiates an aura to all allies on the board and heals them for 15% of their missing health every 5 seconds. Each time this happens, the wearer damages themselves for 10% of their current health as true damage. If we compare it to New Redemption, I don't know. Oh, the main, instead of 1 hex, the main difference is that it's everyone. So make sure this unit has a lot of HP. Rapid Death Cannon. The holder gains +3 hex attack range for 2 attacks. Takedowns for fresh its bonus. Again, they can't miss. So kind of like old RFC, but it's only for 2 attacks. So if you put it on a melee carry and you put them in the back with Rapid Death Cannon, and after 2 attacks they don't have a takedown, they're just gonna have to walk all the way back up. So you gotta be really careful with this. It's mostly fine, I would say, with what's it called? Mostly fine with 3 to 4 hex 3 to 4 hex carry or unit. I mean, it shouldn't affect you that much. But it's interesting, you know, a lot of hex range, but only 2 attacks, or just like a little bit of extra attack range. Rabadon, 125% additional spell power, but you get 25% max 25% max HP deduce. Was Rod always 10 spell power? Oh no, I got nerfed. Oh, okay. I'm starting to wonder what the heck else got nerfed. Anyways, sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. Where are we? Quicksilver. Evil Quicksilver. Immunity C, full immunity. Straight up, full immunity for the whole round. But 25% less max health. So limited, full, what's it called? Limited, full CC immunity, or for the entire round. This matters probably a lot more early game, because late game fights are usually decided in the first 10 seconds. More evil Lonomicon. Okay. When the holder deals magic damage with this spell, the spell deals 50% less damage, but they burn the target, dealing 100% of the target's max HP as true damage over 25 seconds, and reducing healing by 50% for the duration of burn. So your spell does a lot less damage, but you're technically guaranteed to kill. You're guaranteed to kill your target. So could be good on someone who has a really big what's it called? A really big AoE CC. Yeah. Locket of the Dark Solari. The wearer and all allies within 2 hexes takes 20% reduced damage, but gain 5 less mana per attack. So it's really good on your front line, because, you know, they usually don't care. They usually don't attack too much anyways, they just want to absorb damage. Yeah, just don't put it on your back line. Yeah, so you don't accidentally have them take too long to just not. Final Whisper. When the wearer inflicts a critical hit, the target's armor and MR is reduced by 70% for 2 seconds. The wearer's armor and magic resistance are also permanently reduced by 70%. So, what's it called? 1, it's 2 seconds instead of 5 seconds. 2, it's armor and MR for both the target and the wearer. So watch out. You can make an absurdly good glass cannon with this, but can be pretty scary. No. There we go. Poison Gauntlet. Spell can critically hit, gain 40% crit damage and 25% critical strike chance, but when the wearer casts, they lose 20% of their max health. So don't put it on a unit that can keep on casting, that casts very often, because they will die very fast with this. So just put it on a unit that takes a lot of mana to get going, and then boom, one shot. Ionic Dark Spark. Okay. Ionic Dark Spark. Enemies and allies within 2 hexes are zapped when they cast an ability. Blah 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 blah. Enemies take 200%, allies take 100%. Also, whenever an ally or an enemy is zapped, the wearer gains 5 AP for the rest of combat. So it's like an actual stacking item or AP item. That's kind of cool. Again, careful to move your main ult users away from this user so that they don't don't get hit by it. Unless, I don't even know. I mean, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know which frontline carry would want a frontline carry that wants a lot of AP. Maybe Yasuo, but I don't know. Cursed Infinity Edge. So the same thing, same increased critical strike chance, but the wearer also gains 25% critical strike damage, but each time they crit, they deal 5% of their max HP to themselves as true damage. So you're gonna tick all the way down, because you're guaranteed to crit. You're gonna keep on losing 5% HP every single second. That's a lot. That's a lot. So maybe just put it on a unit that can just what's it called? Put it on a unit that's kind of slow at attacking. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know in what situation you want to use this. The holder's spells heal the nearest ally with missing HP for 50% of the damage dealt. So instead of healing yourself, you're healing a lot, but to put it on someone else. You're healing your allies instead of yourself. Hand of Vengeance. You start with the what's it called? 40% extra damage deal. What's it called? You start with the extra damage, 40% extra damage from plus 40 AD, plus 40 spell power, and you heal. You start with both buffs. But after each takedown, if you have it, you lose them. And if you have another takedown and you don't have it, you get them back. So it keeps on swapping. You're not always guaranteed to have these buffs. Kind of interesting. Ginsu's Evil Rage Blade. Instead of 6%, this is now 8%, but you do 2% of your max HP each attack. So gotta watch out. Guardian Fallen Angel. I like the name. Okay. Prevents the wearers for stuff, placing them in stasis instead. After 2 seconds, they return with 100% health and shut all negative effects. After triggers, the wearer's attack speed is reduced by 50%. Amazing frontline item. Normally, GA is pretty good on your backline carry, so you make sure they don't somehow accidentally get one shot. This is good on your tank. You want to come back because attack speed usually doesn't matter, but hey, 100% health on like a 2-star tank that's with like full items is pretty good. Evil Giant Slayer. So instead of doing 10% bonus damage, now it's you execute if they're below 10% HP. Think of it kind of like Gold Collector from the Ornament Artifact. If the target has more than 1750 max health, the execute threshold is increased to 25% health. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I believe it's good. Is this a good thing? Does that mean like if it's below 25% HP, if they have more HP? I have no clue. I'm not 100% sure. I'm assuming it is, but we'll see. Evil Gargoyle Stoneplate, instead of getting, what's it called? Instead of getting a bunch of armor and MR, you heal yourself for 70 every 2 seconds for each unit targeting. Again, anti-healing can utterly screw this over, so I don't see why you would. Frozen Dark card. Instead of 35%, it's 50%, and also your allies within 1 hex can also reduce. It doesn't affect the wearer. Cool. This is fun. This is ooh, this was very interesting. Force of Darkness. Wearer's team gets +2 maximum team size, but you take 100% extra damage. Very risky. If you need a combat needs like 9 to 10 units, sure, go for it. Especially, and even like early game, like having a bunch of like pretty strong units, just having a bunch of more stronger units, can make a difference. But if you lose, you are going down, way down. So it's a big risk, but it could pay off heavily. Dark Dragon's Claw. The wearer cannot take more than 100 damage from a single instance of magic damage. That's like absurd. I think. Cannot take more than 100 damage from a single instance of magic damage. I think. Does that mean you get hit by one spell and then you take 100 damage, but then you still get pulted like crazy after that? Is that what that means? I think that's what that means. If so, it's not that good unless you can guarantee the fact that the other comp has only one slice of magic damage, but that seems pretty unlikely. Cursive Blade. Instead of plus 1080, it is 1580, but less HP. Chalice. What's it called? So kind of like the same thing with Zeke's. Actually, it's like the opposite of Zeke's. Allies within 1 hex in the same row gain 50 spell power. Usually it's 30. But the wearer loses 20 spell power. So if you're putting it on like put this on a support unit, and you could give this to 2 of your AP carry, backline AP carries or something like that. That's a lot of extra AP. Villain's Bramble Vest. You reduce base damage by 30%, and you do damage to yourself. That's it. So it's a pretty good tank item against basic attacks. Either basic attacks or critical hits. I don't know. That's interesting. It's definitely a lot more sturdy, but then you also do a little bit of damage to yourself. It's not that bad. This one's insane. Very dark blue buff. After casting a spell, the wearer's mana is set to 10. If the wearer has less than 50% HP, this is increased to 40. You put this on a unit that has 40 or what's it called? That has a high mana cap. That's insane. You can cast like crazy. So this blue buff could actually be used on something that has a pretty big mana cost. Then like after the first cost, you just keep going. So I almost see no downside to this. Except for the fact that if something has a high mana cost, it's gonna still take a while. But holy crap! Risk Firster. So this is like Old Blood Firster, but with a little bit something extra. Basic attacks heal the holder for 40% of damage dealt. The holder takes 25% of their max health in true damage at the beginning of combat. Each time the holder heals to 9% HP, they gain 40% attack speed for 3 seconds. Doesn't stack. Really good Draven item. Archdemon Staff. Each time the holder casts their spell, they gain max HP instead of AP, equal to a big chunk of their max mana. The holder then heals for the max health that was gained from that spell cast. So you keep giving yourself infinite HP theoretically. Instead of giving yourself a decent amount of AP, you're getting yourself a bunch of HP. I don't know. I don't know if there's a frontline that could use this, but we'll see. Really quick, all the shadow item spatulas. Cloak is a Revenant. Nightbringer is a belt. Bow is a Helion. Sword is Forgotten. Dragon Slayer is a rod. Tear is a Coven. You can make a Coven? You can make a Coven unit? Oh, shoot. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Vest is Cavalier, and Glove is Abomination. That's very interesting. So you don't have to run the 3 Coven units if you have Dark Tear or Dark Spatula, and you make this. That's interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, last but not least. Nope, that's for next video. Okay. So, I'm assuming you can see the GVA video. Yes, you can. Okay, cool. So, what's it called? As you can see, where the shop is, that's going to be the armory. At 2-2, and then every stage onward at the second round, you can choose between either 2 or 4 items. And yeah, you can just choose an item component for free. I think if I scroll through the video, Stage 2, you get 1 shadow component and 1, what's it called? 1 normal component. If we skip to Stage 3, Stage 3, I believe it is 2 normal components. Stage 4 is 2 shadow and 2, what's it called? 2 shadow and 2 normal. But again, you can only choose 1.
You have Ginsu's evil.
Let's see. Does he get to? I'm assuming he gets to. Oh, it's only from Stage 2 to Stage 4. Okay. But yeah. Is there anything else I want to talk about? If I go back to I know. I don't want to go over. If you look at the carousel, 1, the carousel looks sick. This new carousel looks sick. 2, they changed the appearance of the item components to look like the ones from League. I think that's how I would summarize it as. So they look different. They look really different, but we'll get used to it. Yeah. So that's one thing. The second thing, if we can get to another carousel, is I don't know if you can really tell. Can you really tell? It's hard to see. But if you look at the volley bear, you'll see that there's a little green arrow. It's kind of blended in with the bow. And but on the volley bear, and I don't know what, I think that's Nidalee. I Has a little green arrow and a little green outline. That means that item is a shadow item. Yeah, shadow item component. So that's how you can tell if it's a shadow item or not. It's a little bit hard to tell. You can also tell if you can get to maybe like a stage 5 carousel. Are any of these items corrupted? No. Okay, well, unfortunately, none of these were corrupted. Does he get to stage 6 carousel? He does. Okay. Does he? Okay, he does, but I don't see any items. But yeah, I guess it's only on from stages 2 through, what's it called? 2 through 4? I don't know. I don't have 100% of the details. I'm just guessing just from the video. But yeah, so those are pretty much, what's it called? Those are all the new items, and what's it called? Those are all the new items with a couple of reworked items from the base set. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. How long was the video? Or almost about 37 minutes. Okay, but yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. My last video will be fear crafting 10 comps. I would probably want to put more, but my throat will kill me. I'll be fear crafting 10 comps to try out, or that might be meta. When Set 5 launches on PvE, I believe it launches Tuesday late or something like that. I have no clue. I'm not 100% sure of the time because yeah, I'm just guesstimating maybe late Tuesday. At the latest it will be is Wednesday, but I think it might be coming out a little bit sooner. So thank you for watching. See you all next time. Take care.